I'm tempted to go across country. Do you know what? Why not? Back out in this beautiful place, show you around. That's where we're going, down there somewhere. Find a perch and try and, in fact, I'll try and sit down where I sat for the last one. Objective for today is I want to cover the first things that gave me pause for thought with Slingshot. It's only what I found. It's only what my thoughts are. There's nothing. I'm not saying this is the only way or the right way. It's just my way. It might help somebody anyway. Hopefully it does. And then after we've covered dominant eyes, fork grips. I bought a flask today. I just couldn't be bothered to make a fire. Most of this stuff's sodden, so I'm gonna grab a cuppa. Bought another target. I've got some ammo, exact same fork and bands as I had last time, so I'm going to adopt the grip and sighting method this advice is given me, and I'm going to shoot 20 shots as I did last time and see if I've improved any. So it's a bit of a test as well, no pressure. But yeah, I'm going to head down here, find a camp, get rid of this backpack, check out a few squirrels. I'm really impressed with how this is growing. It's really beautiful. Forest floor's coming alive. It seems busier than it was in summer. Whether it's just the extra light we had then, I don't know, but here are all the pigeons. I don't know if you'll catch that. We'll see if 50 took off then. Sorry fellas, I didn't mean to come and disturb you. These little guys here trying to find some sunlight. Good luck, mate. It's a bit busy up there. I'll come back in a minute. And provided I don't get too lost, I'm sure I picked a spider up. Or two. Yeah, provided I don't get too lost. I'll come back to you in a couple of minutes. See you soon. Morning folks, it's I think it's about 10 AM. Sun's poking through, but oh man, it's grey. Forecast is for rain from about noon. There's a chance it's already spitting, so I don't have a lot of time. Good coverage still, plenty of foliage up there. Anyway, what I want to do is cover the first things that gave me a pause for thought when I picked up Slingshot again. As a kid, there was no consideration about which hand you held the fork in or how you drew the bands. It was a case of pick it up and throw ammo in every direction. The stuff's changed. It's changed so much. Technology's moved on. The quality of gear's moved on. Bands, wow, the technology that's been built into the bands that are used today, the variety that's available, crikey, we had nothing like that as kids. So it's a completely different game, and when you start to look into it today in a way we never could previously, not when I was a kid anyway, before the internet was born, you start to realise a few of the considerations, and the first big two is what I'd like to cover today, and they are your eye dominance and your grip, which hand you hold the fork in. Sounds obvious, I know, but really it's not. until you pick one up and you have a go, it's surprising how there's more to it. There's more of a thought process to go through. It's not huge, but it's worth sharing, I think. So what's the goal? What's our objective? That's the first question I ask myself. And really, it's, I know I'm stating the obvious, but the goal is worth repeating, that consistency really surrounds every shooting activity, whether it's archery or rifles or shotgun or slingshot. It's all of a similar physics. So the ultimate goal, worth stating, I think, is that we want to be able to accurately acquire a target and then shoot consistently at that target. So if we don't sight properly, if we don't use our vision correctly, and we don't have thought of how we become consistent at releasing ammunition, we're never going to develop. Now, a lot of guys on YouTube are far more experienced than I ever will be. They kind of skip ahead a little. Some don't, some go into great detail, but occasionally I've seen clips where guys assume we've got this down, that we know what the goal is, and really, unless it's said, we don't have a consistent view. So, goal, simple: to be able to accurately acquire a target and consistently shoot to that target. How do we do it? And that's where we begin. Definitely looks like rain. Okay, let's hustle. With all the research I've done on sighting and grip, I picked the information up from different places, and it confused me a little bit. Some guys were introducing the discussion about if you're left-handed, if you're right-handed, if you're right eye dominant, if you're left eye dominant, combinations of both, drawing this way, drawing that way, and it's easy to see how people can be confused by it. And I think what I've worked out for myself, or the way I'm approaching it at least, be it right or be it wrong, is if we take the questions a certain way, a simple way, we can make it easier on ourselves. We can decide on how we're going to sight, and that will either dictate or give us choices as to which hand we grip the fork in. But neither of those things can be done until we establish which is our dominant eye. We all have one dominant eye, or at least I believe we all have one dominant eye. And the goal for this is for us to come down to our foundation. What is the core fundamental grip and sighting method we are going to use forever? And if we've got that, from that point, surely everything else is practice and development and skill. So yeah, let's get into that. The bottom line is we've got two ways of sighting, and that's it. You can choose which you want. You can either shoot with one eye open or both eyes open, and that's entirely up to you. But each has their own pluses and minuses, and each has their own considerations. Now, there's no right and wrong way. If you look at enough people on YouTube and competition shoots and things like that, videos of, you'll see the variety in grips and where people draw to and how they even hold the fork. They're so numerous, it's almost an individual thing. But this today really is the fundamental. This is what you're going to build your shooting on. Your consistency will come from this. And as with rifle shooting, from my experience years ago, the way you held the rifle was critical path. Get that right and your fundamental was set, and from there you could develop skills. With slingshot it's slightly different, because it's about the way you sight and which hand you hold the fork in. We'll cover it. It's not too complicated. So of the two ways, of the two methods of sighting, if you decide to shoot with one eye open, it needs to be the dominant eye. And I'm not going to send you off to YouTube to find out how to work out your dominant eye. I'll cover that in a moment. So if you don't know, stick about, because we can cover it. It's very simple. Now there's a plus and a minus for each way, one eye or both eyes open. With a one eye open, the dominant eye, the plus is that you can choose which hand to hold the fork in. There really isn't, from what I see anyway, a whole lot of difference. With your dominant eye is my right eye, so if I keep blinking my left one, you know what it's about. So if I'm going to aim persistently forever with one eye open, then I can actually hold the fork in either my left or right hand and draw to the left or draw to the right, whichever I prefer. What your sighting is telling you is as true as it gets. So that's the benefit. You can choose which hand to hold the fork in. The downside, however, is that obviously with only one eye open, your vision's affected. So your perception of distance is reduced, but also peripheral values change. So you lose light and contrast, and the whole image that the brain receives changes, reduces. It still doesn't matter too much if your type of shooting is, say for instance, indoor targets and you're under artificial lighting. It's a consistent environment. If you're happy with a single eye open, holding the fork in either hand, whichever you prefer, you can develop consistent shots. There are shooters out there who are notoriously good, accurate shooters. Now, the alternative is we sight with both eyes open. And there's an extra consideration with this. If we sight with both eyes open, the plus is we have improved perception of distance and greater peripheral vision, so better fidelity and contrast and clarity. We can sight accurately over greater distances, perhaps, depends on your natural vision. But the downside is we can't choose the hand we hold the fork in, and this is the fundamental thing. Because both eyes are open, our vision is affected by having the dominant and non-dominant eye open. And to get accurate sighting, what we have to do is this is the thing that's caused all the confusion for me. You have to draw the pouch to your dominant eye side. So let me explain. I'm right eye dominant and I'm right-handed. So for me, the natural state of affairs, as I did when I first shot, was to pick the fork up in my right hand and to draw with my left. But what I was actually doing was I was holding the fork in my right hand, drawing with my left, and this is drawing to my non-dominant eye because my dominant eye's over here, and you can't draw that way. So there was no surprise my sighting was off, and we'll see today when I check it in a bit whether or not my shots improved, just simply because I'm drawing to my dominant eye with both eyes open and holding the fork in my left hand. But that's how it needs to be, I understand. So hopefully that covers your choice. Decide right at the beginning, if you can, decide whether or not you're going to have one eye open and only aim with your dominant eye and choose which hand you hold the fork in, or decide to have both eyes open and accept that you have to draw the pouch to your dominant eye side, which tells you naturally, whichever way it is, it tells you naturally which hand you're going to draw with and which hand you'll hold the fork with. So far, so good. Let's deal with dominant eye. Let's work out which is your dominant eye. Oh boy, that sun has disappeared. It's got very dark all of a sudden. I need to put a spurt on. Dominant eye. How do you find your dominant eye? The simplest way I have found is to form a triangle with your hands. Put your index fingers together, overlap your thumbs. We have a triangle, or something like a triangle. So with that triangle formed, what we do is arms at full stretch, put any object from your living room or wherever you are in the centre of that triangle with both eyes open. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to close our left eye. So object clearly centred, close your left eye. And if that object stays exactly where it is, doesn't move, what that tells you is you are right eye dominant. If, as you hold that object in the centre, if you close your left eye and the object shifts either left or right, whichever way around it will go, that's telling you you're left eye dominant. And it's as simple as that. Close your left eye, and if the object stays in the centre, you are right eye dominant. If the object moves, you're left eye dominant. That's it. Simple as. I smell human. I spy with my little eye something beginning with human. Wet human, shortly. Right. I was desperate to not make this complicated, and I feel like I've made it complicated. I'm sorry if I have. Let's just do a recap very quickly. There are two ways of sighting. One eye open or both eyes open. You decide. If you choose to have one eye open, you must focus with the dominant eye. So you have the open eye will be your dominant eye, left or right, whichever it is. And with that open eye, you can choose which hand you hold the fork in. Personal preference. The other way is both eyes open. If both eyes are open, you can't choose which hand to hold the fork in, because you must draw the pouch back to your dominant side, your dominant eye. So with me being right eye dominant, I must draw the pouch to my right side. And this is the way I'll shoot, just for the record. I'll be shooting both eyes open, being outdoors mostly. Right eye dominant, I'll draw the pouch to my right hand side and hold the fork in my left hand uncomfortably. But I'll get used to it. Muscle memory will kick in some point in the future, hopefully. So you've got the choice with grip for one eye open. You don't have a choice with grip for both eyes open. Either way, your dominant eye plays a part. It has to be the dominant eye that you have open for one eye open, and it has to be your dominant eye side that you draw the pouch to if both eyes are open. Just with a simple triangle in your hands, focus on an object, close your left eye. If the object stays in the centre of the triangle, you're right eye dominant. If the object moves, you're left eye dominant. It's that simple. So when you know your eye dominance, if you didn't already, you can then make a decision about whether you're going to shoot sight with one eye open or both eyes open, and then that will lead you to work out for yourself a choice of grip, or whether you're forced to hold it a certain way because you're going to shoot with both eyes open, as I am. So I hope that's clear, a little clearer than mud anyway. I'll do my best to tidy it up in post-processing, as ever. Right, next. Okay, so what I'm going to do, despite the look of this sky, is I'm going to set a target up, and then when I'm ready, I'll bring you back, I'll set up target cam, and we'll have 20 shots with both eyes open, left hand grip, drawing to my right, the opposite way to what I did previously, and we'll see how I get on. So I'll catch you soon. So target cam's in operation there. We've got, we'll see how that works. I don't have much faith, but a little like $1.99 eBay collapsible laundry basket as a catch net. Target braced up against that stick, or those sticks. Same 10 pace distance as before, same, excuse me, same slingshot as before. This is the Wasp Wolf Delta wing. It's got a slight curve to it. I posted a blog review on this slingshot. It's really cool. Wasp themselves are brilliant. Simon, their top man. I'll put up a link down there somewhere to Wasp so you can check out the other stuff that they do. And then here we've got 20 shots laid out. Let's go. So this is 20 shots. I'm going to have both eyes open. I'm going to draw my pouch to my right hand side and hold the fork in my left hand, practicing what I've just preached. 20 shots, let's see how we do compared to last time. Oh, and by the way, I haven't shot a single round since I was last here. So since my last video, I haven't touched anything. I've had no practice whatsoever. So this is literally picking up another 20 shots from my previous 20 shots. Only I've done about 400 hours research in that time. So here goes. 8mm ammo. I've stuck with the 8mm because I'm on light bands, light pouch. I have checked my bands before anybody tells me otherwise. Top right. Within the target. Saw the catch net bounce a little bit as well. If I anchored that to the floor, it might be okay. Bring some temp pegs perhaps. Who knows? Right, shot 2. Feels very different. Shot 3. Over the top. Shot 4. Shot 5. Okay. Shot 6. Shot 7. Shot 8. Shot 9. Straight down the middle, but straight over the top. Okay. Shot 10. Well, there's a few more in there than last time. I mean, by comparison, my first 10 shots, there's only the 10th shot actually hit the target. So I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 perhaps. There, I can't quite see from here. Okay. So let's try and drop this down somehow. In fact, let's not try and do anything. Let's just get another 10 shots out. Think about stance, side on, drawing back to my right eye. Helps better, felt better. Shot 1, that was shot 1. This is shot 2, or shot 12. Straight over the top. Okay, shot 3. Shot 4. Shot 5. Shot 6. That's shot 6. This is shot 7. Shot 8. Shot 9. Right. Last but not least, shot 10 or shot 20. Final shot. I don't know if that's a bull or not. I can't quite tell. Okie doke. Let's go and see what we've done, eh? Crumbs. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Interesting. Let's stop you. Let's see how many the old catch net picked up for us. Not many. 2 down there. But hey, 2's better than none. There's a few have dropped through the backs. They've just popped through. I'll grab my magnet, sweep the area. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Take 73. Ooh. Right, and folks, even my voice is going, I'm not dry, so I'm going to have a cup of tea. I'm going to get a bit of practice, and then I'm going to mooch on out of here, hopefully before the heavens open, which it could be any minute, so wish me luck. Thank you for watching. I'll drop some links below to I started the Slingshot competition I mentioned previously, so if you're new or you'd like to give it a go, it's live, it's running now. You can download a target for October, the month of October 2019, print it off, shoot at 10 meters, and then there's instructions on there how to send me an email with a photo. Mobile photo's fine, anything that's clear, and then we'll update a leaderboard and see how everybody's doing. Form of a small community perhaps, who knows. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll hopefully be out again in a fortnight, and I'll update as soon as I do, and we'll pick up on the next episode of Close Encounters of the Slingshot kind. So till then, please look after one another. Thanks for watching. If you can't be good, be careful. Peace.